bows down on my mama knee. Says, son, there's only one thing to set your soul free. Wasn't no easy street where I come from. There wasn't no sleep until the work was done. That victory bell, one for the money, to another show. Please start your engines now and rock and roll.
It's a gorgeous morning in the Irish Hills of Michigan as we get ready for practice and qualifying for the Xfinity Series. Everyone lined up there on pit road, getting ready to take on this 2-mile oval. Alongside Brad Doherty, Steve Letarte, Rick Allen with you. Kim Kuhn will have all of the stories from pit road today. And it was a gorgeous drive in, a beautiful part of America here, as we get ready to take on one of the fastest racetracks that NASCAR comes to. And surprisingly, it's not as high banked as you have Talladega and Daytona, but when you come here, for some reason, these guys are able to find some speed.
Yeah, these guys are running around here basically wide open, trying to find as much speed as possible. You got so many grooves on this racetrack. It's so wide, 4 and 5 different grooves that create opportunity for speed. So much fun to watch. One of my favorite places to go. Anytime you eke up towards that 200 mile an hour, you got the big kids' attention.
My two favorite tracks on the NASCAR circuit are Martinsville and Michigan, and for the exact reason of their total opposite approach. You go to Martinsville, and it's your Saturday night short track you grew up with all around the country, and then you come to Michigan, and this is as mainstream NASCAR as it can be, in my opinion. You're down the street from the manufacturers, and everything you do to the car here makes a difference. Horsepower, you go faster. Downforce, you go faster. More mechanical grip, you go faster. And each track, there's kind of these signatures, and here the best car normally wins. Like, we talk a lot about strategy and track position. This place is, I don't know, 6-7 lanes wide if you're good enough. And if you have a good enough car and you get stuck in the back, you can drive your way back to the front. It's now the opposite, Rick. If it drives bad, it's the longest race you'll call your whole life because you can't block them. They come by her at every side.
It's not the favorite track. Well, Kim Kuhn, there are 41 cars down there waiting to get onto this racetrack, and that means you're going to be busy today.
That's right, Rick. The challenge here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series teams, though, is the temperature. Right now, it is a very pleasant temperature. There's a breeze. I think it's about 71 degrees. That's not going to be the case when they go green closer to 4 p.m. It'll be almost 86 degrees later. That's a 15-degree jump in ambient temperature. So crew chief Doug Randolph for Brandon Brown had the best description. He said the drivers during practice will feel like superheroes. But when the green flag waves, it'll be a reality check. So in this practice, crew chiefs have to take what their drivers telling them about the car, extrapolate it to the temperatures we'll see later. Not only that, they might be fighting something totally different in the race than they do in practice.
Rick, if you spell extrapolate, I'll pronounce it.
I was just trying to figure out, was Nate Ryan down there?
No, but Kim brings up
her words.
Kim brings up a great point. It's and it's not just the weather; it's who else has been on the racetrack. This is, I think, what makes the Xfinity Series one of the toughest series to balance a car with, because you don't get a lot of track time. You don't get a lot of time to adjust in your car, and that even carries over into the race. You're only going to get a couple real solid pit stops, maybe a third. So, you can only work so much as the work continues on Daniel Hemrick's car.
Daniel.
You want to know what a nervous driver walk is? That's what it looks like.
That's it right there.
Paces in a circle, yeah. Trying to look non-nervous. Kim, he's trying to look cool and calculated, but it looks like nerves to me. Oh, we got a little welder out, Kim.
Yeah, and it's a track bar issue. I'm not sure what specifically the issue is, but when I checked in with the team, and Daniel specifically, he said there are a lot of parts and pieces to the track bar. So they saw something early. It wasn't NASCAR that pointed out. The team saw something on the track bar they didn't like. So you see the NASCAR official keeping a close eye on what they're doing to change the track bar to make it what they needed for this race and this practice. So not what you want when you have very limited practice time.
All right, so in a NASCAR Xfinity Series car, the track bar, these are a solid rear axle suspension with 2 truck arms. If you're standing above the car looking down, it's basically a triangle that goes up and down. And the track bar makes sure that triangle can't go left to right, or it does go left and right, but in a very small amount. The track bar makes the rear end housing can move as far left and right as you want. That doesn't work. We actually saw a week ago was Jeb Burton couldn't even get off pit road at the road course at Indianapolis. His track bar was broken from practice. Now the Hemrick automobile hadn't even been practicing yet. Circle it. Here's my pick. Write it down, Brad.
Oh, that's
Really?
I picked him this week on
Yeah.
Motor Mouse.
Yeah.
I picked Noah Gragson to win today.
Okay.
And going back to Daniel Hemrick, how comfortable would you be after you've done everything, you're ready to go, you're standing there, and all of a sudden, track bar issue, the guy gets the welder out, then you got to go out here and run 190 miles an hour. What's the confidence level? What do you do? How do you get through your own head? He's got a lot of experience, but what do you do?
Brad, that very point is what I have been impressed with about drivers ever since I started in this sport 20 plus years ago. I looked at a driver and I said, how can you go out there on the very first lap and run the fastest lap of the day? And they're like, you know what? Because this is what we do.
Yeah.
This is the way we're wired. We're wired differently.
I remember like 20 years ago I was in Atlanta, and that's when they were running really fast at Atlanta. And I was watching practice, and Cup practice was getting ready to start, and Mark Martin goes out, and I mean, he is hauling it. And I'm standing there, I'm just blown away. Radial tire, he comes down and he is getting it. And next thing you know, they're just clipping it, everyone, on the first lap. It's absolutely remarkable what these guys do. Yeah.
Big first lap by Noah Gragson. He's going to be a little frustrated now with a little bit of traffic. 39.44 for Gragson. Herpa 39.94, so a half a second quicker than the next car out.
And we mentioned the speeds here. The average speed for that lap for Noah Gragson, 182.5 miles an hour. That's the average around this racetrack.
So Jeff Gordon gave me the story about speed and those questions. To answer your question, Rick, we were testing at Texas, and there was this new fandangled setup we were going to try. And I said, hey, man, this is pretty questionable. You need to go run like 70%. He backs out of the garage. He stops. He waves me over to the window net, and he goes, man, I'm just going to run 100%. I said, listen, I don't know what it's going to do. He goes, let me give you 2 things. If I back it in at 70%, it hurts just as much.
Yeah.
And if it works at 70%, now you're going to go maybe go run 100%. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it the first time.
Wow.
And I'll let you know how it's going to work.
That's a different mindset.
And that's when I was like, I'm a better crew chief and driver, because I would have backed her down to maybe 50%.
And we see right now Ty Gibbs on the racetrack. And here's a 19-year-old that has shown such incredible maturity this year. We know he has talent, but the things that he's shown us, how he's grown and matured on a racetrack by the decisions that he's making, and it's really happened over about a 6-month period of time, because a year ago he was very aggressive, and he got probably a bad rap for being maybe too aggressive at the age of 18. We got big smoke.
Woo, car around.
Sideways.
Can't see in the sun. The 78, I believe.
Woo.
I don't know. Hills. Splitter damage when it got into the grass.
A lot of smoke coming out of that car.
More than what it looks like tire smoke.
Yeah.
That looks like an engine expiration that maybe he spun out in.
Looks like a little oil, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's climbing right out, so you can tell it's just not tire smoke.
Matt Mills, the 25-year-old from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Everything feel okay?
That's obviously.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
I'm not sure which radio that is, but that's not Matt Mills.
Definitely not Matt.
If it's oil line or engine, whatever.
Yeah.
Get on those rear tires, and then you go for that ride. So we're just assuming, but that looked like a long, slow. Look at all the smoke.
Yeah, and a nice job of no real damage. I'm not sure if it looks like there's maybe some fire under the hood.
Yeah,
right there. Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, a little fire extinguisher, help him out.
Start moving.
Yeah, this guy's getting ready to pull the pins.
I don't know if that's
he has no idea.
That's either a flyer or a reflection off the ambulance.
Yeah, it's flashing off the.
Ooh, I'm going to tell you right now. I was like, put his car out.
He's kind of moving around that hood kind of casually.
Yeah.
For fire.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. You did a nice job, what I was getting ready to say, of not hitting the wall. Unless the splitter's damaged, they hopefully can correct the mechanical issue.
He hadn't even put down a timed lap yet.
Yeah,
that's a bad way to get started.
That is definitely not what
the mechanical issue might be the motor.
Turning down into turn 3 right here, we're going to see.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So, when the smoke there, it's coming out the front wheel wells.
Yeah.
So, from experience, I would tell you that when the smoke comes out the front wheel wells in a 3/4 of a lap, something is normally not tight.
Yeah, oil line maybe.
Yeah, something,
Something.
it comes out the pipes.
Yeah.
It's broken internal. It comes out the pipes. But when it billows out both the right and the front, and it's normally either a catastrophic failure, which is possible, or just simply an oil line coming off.
Oh, fitting, not tight.
Not good. We used to have a rule, Rick. If it broke in the first 25 laps, it was a mechanical failure. I mean, it was a mechanical issue as far as you didn't tighten it. But if it got past 25 laps, that was a mechanical failure. That was an engineering issue. That used to be the joke in the Cup garage if you were a mechanic. Once you got by 25 laps, listen, it had to be tight. Ran 25 laps.
So think about this now. So if it is, and we're assuming a little bit here, but, educated guess here by Mr. Letarte, if it is maybe oil, how do you go practice now? Like we were talking about Hemrick, how do you go make that first? Now how do you go?
That's where that issue for Hemrick is a big issue, right?
It's even bigger.
The track never gets great by the end of practice. You missed your window.
You missed it. So he's really anxious.
And, Kim, we're talking about Daniel Hemrick and the 11. How's the progress going?
Yeah, so we talked about how it was a track bar issue. Got some more details. Daniel is actually climbing aboard his Chevrolet right now, so we expect him on track shortly. So for Steve, it is an adjuster problem. They had a broken snap ring. So for the layman, what does that mean and why would that be problematic?
All right, so we see on pit stops, they adjust the track bar up and down. Well, what happens is, if you can believe it, is there's basically a very coarsely threaded screw that doesn't actually move. It spins in place, and the track bar it's kind of like a clevis, a nut. All you need to know is as you spin it, it goes up and down that screw. So what happens is, that screw goes down to the bottom of the mount and has a snap ring, a lot of things that keep it in place. So if they had some sort of issue, each team does it a little different, but they had some sort of issue there that probably required some welding. So not the mount was going to break, but either the nut that the set screw, or the adjuster screw went through, or the bottom of it, how they hold it on. I've seen it done a few different ways. Either way, I don't think it'll hurt the 11 as far as performance on racetrack, but it will hurt his approach because he's going to miss this first few minutes of practice. We were just talking, so frustrated. So Noah Gregson's fast lap on the racetrack is the 3rd lap. Yeah. And it's by no one's fault. It's the cars, it's the weight, it's the speed, it's the technology. But it is, as a crew chief, man, it is so frustrating to not see lap 1 just be the absolute fastest on a set of Goodyear tires. You want those things to be gumballs and just fall off the face of this earth. When you start seeing lap 3, 4, and 5 as faster laps, you instantly start going to your pit strategy notebook and say, all right, we're going to have to figure out a way to stay out front because we just can't put tires on and drive back through the field, which you were hoping.
Rick, you were making a great point, though, about Ty Gibbs, and I agree. I think the thing, too, like you said, we've seen him evolve on the racetrack, but to the degree there's also have to have been some involvement, where he's matured off the racetrack to make the decisions that he's been making over the last several weeks. It's been remarkable to watch, and now you're starting to pull for him if you're a fan, because we know he's uber talented. We can all see it, and we know what his future looks like possibly, but the racecraft, the ability, the discipline, you don't expect that in someone this young.
And Steve, Road America, I think, was maybe the biggest the spotlight was on him as he was racing against the Cup Series champion, and he passed him cleanly. And I think everybody kind of went, wow, that's incredible talent, but now he's taken that talent and matured with it and has become a really experienced driver.
That was the first major shift where he passed him and then doubled down and got out in his interview and said, I had to pass him clean. It was my only option. But I will tell you, that was the most public one. But I actually look at the last 2 Cup races in my mind. I've been watching very closely as he subbed for an injured Kurt Busch. If Kurt's listening, we wish him well. We want to get him back in the race car as soon as possible. But, it's one thing to learn in one of the fastest race cars in a series where you're one of the dominant drivers. It's very humbling when you jump over that fence to that Cup garage and you're doing all the same things that work on Saturday and you are not scratching the top 25. Yeah. He's finished well in both races, but he runs 25th, 27th, and that's not a knock on him. Right? The Sundays are just that hard. I think that he gets no frustration. He takes everything that comes to him. some he deserves, some doesn't. You know, you get in that cup field, like, oh, that ain't Kurt. I'm gonna lean on this young man a little. You know, that is what impresses me more, Brad, is that he took what we saw at Road America and he kind of got threw into the fire in the Cup Series, and he's kind of stuck with that patient approach.
Yeah, has responded just exceedingly well. And it's ironic, though, that same race is what we were talking about earlier with the number 9.
Yeah.
Another opportunity to grow. And, be honest with you, we didn't know if Noah would change or grow at all. A lot of us didn't think he would. This young man's turned over a new leaf. I'm excited because I think he was kind of in his own way a little bit with all of some of the antics and all this and trying to be this type of individual on a racetrack and off the race. It looks like he's eschewed some of that stuff. And if he has, and it looks like this guy, the sky is the limit.
We talk about these names. Let's take a look at the regular season point standings. That's important because there's only 6 races remaining in the regular season before the playoffs start. And look how tight the regular season point standings have gotten. You have Allmendinger out there at 789, 17 points back Allgaier, and then Ty Gibbs 30 points back. These 3 very close. The reason that's so important, 15 playoff points. That is like winning 5 races. If you win the regular season, you get 15 playoff points.
That's huge.
I'm going to give you like winning 3 races.
3 races. I thought the 5 in there was how many you win for the race. So, yeah, 3 races.
You can't calculate my fuel mileage. You're off the job. That's it. You're fired.
We were talking about Ashland and math. And
so to your point, though, so when I look at that list, I think Allgaier has to look at this place and say, I have to beat Allmendinger here. I have to beat Ty Gibbs here. We have Watkins Glen out there, and Allgaier's a decent road course racer, but he is probably a distant second to Gibbs and probably a distant third to Gibbs and Allmendinger. It's self-admitted. It's not a knock on Allgaier. You go to Dover and he's king of the castle, right? So everybody has their thing.
Remember, Allgaier drives for Junior Motorsports, and when it comes to ovals, they've been dominant. Nobody's even come close to them on an oval this year, and guess what? We're on a big oval.
Yeah, the transition from the Cup cars to the new next gen and what it's done to some of the support in this lower series is interesting because Junior Motorsports has definitely moved above the fray. I think they have a lot of experience throughout the entire building, and they're doing a really good job. I think Sam Mayer is going to join this list in yellow very soon. He's continuing to run well. You see his consistency. He's got him there as the highest guy without a win. He's doing things I'd like to see. I was a little worried early. He was making a lot of assumptions, a lot of promises. Yeah, but he's settled in.
Inexperienced mistakes and those types of things.
Hey, guys, as we sit here, one thing that jumps out at me, look, we're under yellow, and that clock just keeps on running. So
that's not a good thing. But I agree with both of you guys. That's 7 and 9, Allgaier and Gregson. I'll be shocked if one of those 2 don't walk away with the checkered flag today. I'll be shocked.
I like to hear that.
Noah and Allgaier. I was just seeing if there was a cup of coffee wager settling in there somewhere, but I have to agree. I wouldn't take. I would take those. You can have the field.
You've surprised me that you are not going to take a wager.
Those 2 are he picked. He said a really good line there. Yeah. Those are good picks. Yeah. I think a sleeper. I could put some sleepers out there. Austin Hill.
He'll be making his first Cup Series start this weekend,
and he just. Big, sweeping, fast track. I know it's not a plate track, but he seems to have a lot of patience in big tracks like this. I'm going to tell you the one that everybody keeps forgetting about. And write it down. Sheldon Creed could still make the playoffs on a win.
Okay.
Good. He has really turned the corner in that 2 car. I don't think he's going to drive up and pass all the Junior Motorsports cars.
But if he's there at the end
if they don't execute correctly and he gets in front, he's really found some comfort. His transition from trucks to Xfinity is not easy. Self-admittedly, he said it isn't easy, and he brought his crew chief from the Truck Series with him, and I think that makes it even harder because they're learning a new car together. Yeah. I think that's one reason why the 21 found such instant success is because I think Andy Street's experience in the Xfinity Series garage carries him.
You mentioned the 21 Austin Hill. Let's go down to Kim.
And big weekend for Austin Hill. He's playing double duty, getting his Cup Series debut tomorrow, but trouble early for him on the Xfinity Series side. In just those 3 laps they made, he's reporting on vibration when he goes down the straightaway. He doesn't notice it on throttle, and he said it's not in the tires. The team on the radio already talking about the next run. Hopefully they get it to diagnose it. They even mentioned swapping out the drive shaft, losing qualifying position, so could be a bad start to the weekend for them. Hopefully we go green here shortly so they can figure out exactly what the 21 needs.
So we have a lot of conversation about practice versus a warm-up on pit road versus no practice. And my Twitter's going to fill up when I say this. But I like what we have. I don't need any more. I like that we come to pit road. So let me explain to the fan. These guys being on pit road isn't by convenience for 20 minutes practice. It's also out here because your options are not endless. These cars have been inspected. They're not back in the garage. We can change any part and piece you want. It's a long list. I don't make it sound like they can't. They can change a lot. 2 tires have to stay on the ground. You can make a lot of changes. In my opinion, more than enough. We learned a year ago they could go cold turkey.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
they could change enough.
Yeah.
I like this format. I like that you can come out here. Normally, if we wouldn't have this long yellow, you're going to get 10, 12, 15 laps. You get a little feel. The only thing I think NASCAR needs to look at is I don't have the answer. It's super complicated. Is what's the entry point for a rookie? Is it lap somewhere, a test somewhere? Maybe throughout the entire season they get a 30-minute practice at somebody else. That's the only question mark I still have. It's a lot, right? Like, you get to take a guy like Sheldon Creed and be like, hey, man, you going Xfinity Series racing, doesn't drive like a truck. You're going to figure it out in every race.
Yeah. Sam Mayer, a 19-year-old who just doesn't have a lot of experience in a car like this, and you tell him to go out there against a Justin Allgaier who has an incredible amount of experience in there. It's not as learning inducive as it would be if they had. It used to be they'd get an extra set of tires. So the rookies would be able to go out there and learn, then put a new set of tires on that everybody else didn't have, and you'd be able to take what you learned and see, okay, I learned this is what the car's going to feel like. They don't even have that option anymore.
It needs to be somewhere we've run a ton, so the veterans have a big notebook. It can't be new to the schedule. I don't want it to be every week. 4 times a year, maybe heavy in the front side of the year, I would be like, all right, man, if you have less than X amount of practices, you get, I don't know, an extra 20 minutes or something, just a little bit of time.
Yeah, I've always thought that was a great idea, as well as, and I know it gets expensive and those types of things, but maybe 4 or 5 times a year you bring the rookies in and the guys who don't have a lot of experience and let them run on Thursday just a little bit, just to get a little bit of extra time where they're comfortable, not under pressure, so they can learn some things about what they're going to, go out and try to do on Saturday.
Yeah, because instead you got 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes left to practice. Good luck. Go get your laps.
Couldn't even get the car fired up.
Well, we mentioned rookies and learning. I mean, look at the next 6 races, including today with Michigan and the 2-miler. You've got the road course at Watkins Glen. You've got the super speedway of Daytona. You've got the little over a mile Darlington, which is one of the toughest racetracks you'll ever run at. 1.5 miles Kansas, and then the half-mile Bristol. I mean, those are the next 6 races that these guys are going to be on before they start the playoffs.
All right, so you've been fired as my engineer to do fuel mileage, and now you've been fired as my team motivator. Rick, you're falling down the list. I'm not sure I got a spot for you on my race team and all these pep talks you're giving.
So this is one of your favorites?
This is one of the favorites.
Okay.
I'll tell you, and Steve's right. I think he has to get a victory today in order to keep pressure on Allmendinger, and this is one of the spots he's going to be able to do it. And he's good when we come here in that 9 car as well. These JR Motorsports cars are so fast. They've got so much speed. I just don't see anybody being able to deal with them.
And Brad, I don't have a favorite. I don't care who wins races. But, this is a 36-year-old who's found his home in the Xfinity Series. He's won 19 races in his career. Still looking for that championship. If this is a guy that stands at the top of the podium in Phoenix at the end of the year, I think he's earned it. He's done it the right way. He'd be a great spokesman for the sport. He's just one that, nobody will cheer for him as a competitor, but come December when the pain eases, everybody's going to be like, he's earned this.
No doubt about it.
And you talk about their speed this year. I kind of feel like him and Jason Burdett, good luck finding an accelerated heartbeat between the two of them. They're just so calm, and their approach. I'd love to see him have a shot.
That's funny you say that, but Justin Allgaier does have an accelerated heartbeat.
Yes.
Literally.
You wouldn't know by watching him, though.
Yeah, it's amazing how low-key he is, but through issues in racing, and he actually took a visit to the hospital because his heart rate is a little bit faster. And the different heart monitors that they are using now, these drivers are using and athletes all around are using, the biometrics to figure out how they're doing in stressful situations. They were worried that Justin Allgaier's heart rate was too high, and then he showed them his biometrics of, this is how my heart rate's been these last few races, and they're like, oh, You just have an accelerated heart rate.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, so now I know.
Oh, there's a little bit of a. This is NASCAR, understanding the situation in front of them, right? A lot of time got burned off with that blown engine or oil line, whatever it was, so they added 8 minutes of practice. I think it's a great adjustment. Well, we're pretty short.
Yeah.
I mean, the most the guys run is, 5 laps for Bilicki in the 45. Gregson's still at the top of the chart. Allgaier second. Allmendinger jumps up there on lap 1. This next lap for Allmendinger could be a top of the chart lap if he's not in traffic. Trying to find him out there. He's a little bit of traffic, too wide in front of him.
Is that not good?
It's good down the straightaway, but unfortunately now he's gone down into turn 3, although he has some clean air around the top as we see the 19 roll in.
Yeah, Brandon Jones a win already. Probably the opposite size racetrack of Martinsville.
My guess is Allmendinger right here. To the top, Rick, for my coffee note tomorrow morning.
And does he do it? How about
Woo!
that? 185 the average.
We got some coffee.
I can't drive one, Rick, but I know how they're supposed to look going around here.
That looked pretty sporty, didn't it?
Buggies.
Yeah, we're going to go back. This place is really good.
Yeah, Biggie coffee.
You talk about the ride in, man. If you stop at every coffee shop and every ice cream joint, it'd be a 6-hour ride. My kind of place. Coffee and ice cream. What's Brandon Jones doing here? Keeps riding around slow.
I was just looking at Brandon Jones here, trying to figure out what he's doing. Maybe
find an opening.
And then you get Daniel Hemrick made it out onto the track, so see how hard he can go. If he can push a little bit, see if they got everything straightened out on that race car. If he's comfortable with it. Look at his speeds here.
Hemrick only 3 laps so far on the track because he wasn't out there prior to Matt Mills and the issue that the 78 car had. Hemrick right in the tire tracks of Landon Castle, teammates from Colleague Racing.
Boy, Landon Castle's had just an outstanding year this year in the Xfinity Series. It's been fun to watch him, show his ability and talents. We know how talented Landon is. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, 33 years old.
Yeah.
Landon Castle, he's been a journeyman. He's been all over the place.
He has.
As Hemrick up to second with that lap.
I had a good conversation with Landon maybe 10 or 15 weeks into the season, and he actually, you talk about that journeyman approach, right? He's driven a lot of different levels of equipment, and he takes care of his equipment, does a great job. But I think he almost had to reprogram. I think he had been in equipment that a good day was 15th, a good day was 12th. That's not the case when you drive for Colleague Racing. And I just think it's this natural instinct of you can't think you're going to go 3 wide. Your approach needs to be a 3 wide move. And he almost had to reprogram his brain. I'm not here to run good and take care of equipment.
Right.
I'm here to win and take care of equipment. It almost took a little bit of a reprogramming to run against these front guys. You see as the defending champ. I don't think we say it enough. Hemrick in front of him. Colleague, look, a lot of conversation about Colleague's lack of speed.
Yeah.
Internally and externally. You talk to Chris Rice, he doesn't sugarcoat it. We're not fast enough. We've got to be faster. And we've seen them make incremental gains, and now here they are speed chart-wise way higher on the charts than we have seen with 3 of them in the top 6. And Bowtie Brigade in the top 6.
Yeah, man, Gregson, top of the board, 186 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Creeping up there.
Could have a big lap. We were talking about, obviously, Hemrick and the successes that he has had, Landon Castle. But, Kim, what about their teammate, Allmendinger?
Yeah, Allmendinger all smiles before he hopped in the car, and rightfully so. He won last weekend at the Indy Road Course, and I asked him how he was feeling heading into this weekend, and he said, when you are the previous week's winner and the last year's winner, the only place to go is down. He was joking. He said, there are a lot of eyes on you when you're in that position. He said, though, if we have the speed we think we do headed into this weekend, it's going to be a fight like you've seen all season and you saw last year, meaning between Colleague and JRM. And that's certainly what we're seeing right now in the top 5. All of those drivers, either from the JRM brigade or the Colleague camp.
And the bow ties as we will take a look back at Allmendinger and the success he continues to have and dominates on road courses.
We shouldn't be surprised. He's won about everything he's ever driven in a road course. From IndyCar, Champ Car, NASCAR, both Cup and Xfinity Series.
Yeah, it just falls right into his wheelhouse. You come around these road courses, boy, AJ is just absolutely the best. And takes care of his equipment, gets the most out of it. Doesn't matter where he's at in the field. If you're at a road course, you got A.J. Allmendinger holding the wheel, you got a chance to win.
So you're a Cup owner. How many offers does he turn down every offseason to go back Cup racing with 6 road courses on the series?
Boy, I'll tell you, I've talked to AJ a little bit about that.
He won for you.
He won for us.
Yeah.
And I said, if the schedule was going to change, we were going to have 100, road course races, I'd have kept you driving the race car. And he thinks about it because he knows that he gets back in that Cup car, which is the pinnacle. He's going to have a shot. It's the other races that wear on him. He's one of those emotional guys. Really wears his heart on his sleeve, and going to Darlington, going to Richmond, going to Brick, these places just wear him out emotionally. But I think he would have a different approach if he had a good opportunity to get a quality ride at the Cup level. I think he would jump on it.
It surprised me a little bit last year when Colleague announced that they were going to go Cup racing, and he opted to not be one of their Cup drivers. But I think to the point of what you guys were just saying, I think he's really found a niche here that is so much more comforting for him. The anxiety level definitely not nearly as high as if he races on Sunday.
He told me, he said, the great thing about being in this Xfinity Series is every weekend, I've got an opportunity to get a trophy. And I hadn't had a chance to do that in my career, consistently. And I'm happy. The racing's good. It's tough. It's hard. And I'm with a team that they throw all of the assets at the race car to let me go win a trophy. That's as good as it gets. And he's not going to get that at the next level because you get up to that next level, even if you're getting back in deep in the weeds, those guys are racing their guts out. And he was racing a lot of times for me, and you're racing 15th back to 25th, and that's the hardest racing on a racetrack.
It's simple, Rick. People ask, do I miss crew chief? And you get to a point in your careers where the highs don't match the lows, and you need to find a job with a little less stress. Up here in the TV booth.
It shows this.
Every day is a good day. This is, I'm talking about cars I'd be watching this practice whether I was on air or standing in the stands.
Yeah, me too.
18 car, the young Sammy Smith behind the wheel. We talk about rookies. Here you go. This young man doing a nice job. 8th quick, 17 laps. Interesting. So they've sprayed. The top half of the track's a little darker because they've sprayed a little stuff to try to widen the groove. No one's yet to go up there. I believe in the race we're going to see it.
Yeah.
But here this morning, they're pretty clean around the bottom.
Another thing with Sammy Smith, he's going to run the ARCA race later today. So
a little more track time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's smart. If you can find an opportunity to do so and get a little extra track time, it's going to help.
Steve, you mentioned crew chiefing. What about the pairing? I think this might be perfect, but I'd love to get your take on it. Jason Ratliff, the crew chief for an 18-year-old driver. Ratliff has won, more races than anybody can count as far as a crew chief, and now you pair him with a young kid who's just learning the sport.
Yeah, it's no different. You see it in golf, right? If you have a new up-and-coming star, unless he's had a long-time caddy through his college days, if he's a big name where people think they're going to make it, someone finds the money to go hire a veteran looper to put on his bag because he's going to explain to this young man what he doesn't know as we see the yellow come out. I think that's ending practice here. So what Jason Ratliff can do is he can answer a lot of the questions. He can take the pressure off against Sammy Smith. This is what I need you to do and only this. I'm going to worry about the rest. And he could kind of feed it to him at a consumable amount. Listen, like you said, he wins. He wins a lot. Yeah. He knows a lot about this series.
Cars coming back onto pit road. You mentioned Jason. 54 wins for Jason. 55 wins as a crew chief. Chris Gale, 34 as far as active crew chiefs right now.
Well, so you don't think it's by just surprise or dumb luck that Joe Gibbs paired him with his grandson? That's my point, right? Ty Gibbs can drive, but Chris Gale could take a lot of pressure off. And then Jason Burdett, he has those 18, and he's been with Justin Allgaier just a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Steve Addington, I actually ran into him in the garage at Road America. He's down there helping a couple different cars out. It's good to see my old buddy Steve.
Love Steve.
Great guy.
Great guy.
He's the crew chiefing years are kind of like dog years, Rick. Every one's got to be, I don't know the number. It's like 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it is, but it ages you.
Yeah.
I think you look great for 55, Steve.
That's why I hang out with you, Rick.
All right, let's take a look at the practice speeds. The time we saw Noah Gragson go out there. Allmendinger both posting laps, as well as Sam Mayer, all over 186 miles per hour average around this 2-mile track.
And just outside this top 10, a couple names I want to mention real quick. Kyle Weatherman in the 34 continues to impress. 12 quick. That's great speed in that 34 car. Josh Berry a little slower than expected in 15th. I didn't watch the whole practice, but his fast lap is 6/7 of a second off the other guys. I don't know if the draft plays a part in that. I'd like to get some conversation with his team later today, but some of the Ryan Sieg, again, 11th, right? So there's other guys right there on the cusp of that top 10. That's impressive.
Now a little bit of a break. Teams will get ready for qualifying. Be able to make a lap around here to find out who has the speed. We'll take a look at the rules as to what these teams have in front of them. Single car qualifying, 1 lap. It won't be 2 rounds. This is a 1-round qualifying. You get 1 lap. Fastest time will win the pole. And
I'm waiting to hear from NASCAR. I'm going to be very interested to hear a couple questions that haven't been answered yet for me. We saw the welder come out on the 11. Approved or unapproved, that matters because his qualifying lap may only be for pit pick next week. It might not be for a starting position. And in the chaos of practice with this many cars down there with the hood up, we always get 2 or 3 guys that have adjusted something they're not supposed to that they found. So we'll see how many guys join that list. It'll be interesting to see.
Mentioned the craziness that's taking place as far as the schedule over the next 6 races. Well, today, Cup Series qualifying and practice will once again be right here on the app. That's at 12:30 starting there. At 3 o'clock, Countdown to Green on USA. Make sure to join us there on USA for Countdown to Green, Xfinity Series Racing 3:30, and the NASCAR America post-race show also on USA at 6 o'clock immediately following today's race. Allmendinger using driver talk, which means you have to use your hands.
It's a little free. You start at the first lane, chasing the back, then it gets free again. It's fine, but it just, loads the right rear. I can translate basically what I've seen these before. A lot of right rear. Every time the palm moves to the right, that's a right rear thing. Then he was following another car. So his left hand's another car.
Left hand had to
through his other right. That's wide open. I want to get back to the gas. That's what that move is. Yeah. The only guy that has a tougher
I think he's
job
talking about golf, actually.
Well, I was going to say the only guy that has a tougher
swing.
emotional job than AJ's crew chief is AJ's caddy.
Yeah.
Because my man on the golf course, I have to tell him at times, listen, you're a professional race car driver, so I'm okay that you lose your mind on the racetrack. Yeah. But to quote my good friend Michael Waltrip, you're not good enough to be bad at that shot, so get back in the cart. That's
AJ takes his golf very seriously. Very seriously. He gets a little fired up.
So he has a deal when he wins a race. He gets to pick a course throughout the U.S., and Matt Collick takes him to go play golf.
Oh, I'm
going to tell him that's a good deal.
That's a good gig right there.
3 races, so that's, would you play Augusta 3 times in a row?
Well, I think you have to be able to get on, and I like Matt Collick, but I'm not even sure he could pull that one. Hey, Matt, if you're listening, you can.
Yeah.
Chris Rice has my number. Chris Rice has my number.
I'll be the 4th. Countdown to Green Sunday on USA and Cup Series Racing right here at Michigan International Speedway. That's 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. NASCAR America post-race show at 3 o'clock on NBC. It's the NTT IndyCar Series from Nashville. Again, going through the streets of Nashville for the IndyCar Series. One of the great things about being a part of the USA family is the shows that they're able to do. And they have just announced that we are getting ready to premiere on September 1st on USA Race for the Championship. It's a NASCAR docu-series. You don't want to miss it. Here's a little sample of what you'll be able to see.
Time to strap in and get them going. Everyone's excited.
NASCAR drivers are some of the best race car drivers in the world.
This is what everybody came to see.
3, 2, 1, wheel to the right.
That's the goal, right? There's the big trophy at the end of the day. I just want to win.
We've all got those couple of crazy friends that do crazy things. Well, this is 40 of us.
When I think about gladiators, NASCAR drivers are very much in that vein.
I want to be the one that steals the show.
Be a husband, be a father, be a race car driver.
And when you're in the car and you don't think about, like, ooh, I can get hurt. I got life insurance policy for that, and it's up to date.
Even when you don't win, I try not to have many bad days.
It's time to meet your brother.
It is nice disconnecting from all the rest of the mess.
You like being an owner and not just a driver? You like being both?
We can win a championship with everybody in this room, the equipment in this building.
It takes everything that you have.
Mentally, physically.
I wanted to like try it, man.
The guy tried to wreck me down the backstretch.
Race with somebody wheel to wheel, it's inevitable to piss somebody off.
You guys.
They're at it again, all the way to the inside.
Our livelihoods are made by beating that guy.
Sometimes I feel like people are better when they're pissed off.
Dear Heavenly Father, please bless Chase today. Please keep him safe.
Death is my biggest fear.
Trouble turn 2. Oh, pushes upside down.
Racing scares the crap out of me.
And we wreck it.
Trouble turn 2. Forward into the outside wall. Steaming to the line. Unbelievable. Checkered flag in the air.
Welcome to playoffs.
Who will be the NASCAR champion?
And again, I can't wait. September 1st on USA is when that premieres. I think Ross Chastain may have misspoke just a bit at the very beginning of that when he said, we all have these crazy friends. And then he said, there's 40 of us out there. I think a lot of people might have thought, well, all these guys are friends?
They're not friends.
Not at all. They are not all friends. Some off the track will do things together, but when they're on the racetrack, they are on their own and fighting for every position they can get on that racetrack. Noah Gragson out of the car talking with Justin Allgaier. And Kim, I believe you've caught up with one of the youngest drivers out on the grid.
That's right, Rick. Sammy Smith, you guys were talking about the challenges rookies face, especially with these short practices. Well, Sammy has not raced Michigan in anything. So what did you learn out there in that short time?
Yeah, I think honestly just the track, kind of feeling the car out a little bit too. We were very good, Pilot Flying J Toyota GR Supra, so hopefully we can go put on a good lap here and see what we got.
You are doing double duty with the ARCA Menard Series, but that race is after the Xfinity Series race. Will the practice time benefit the Xfinity Series race at all?
Yeah, I think this will benefit me more for that. Or kind of usually it's the opposite, but definitely probably won't help between car to car, but definitely, I'm having a lot of fun here at Michigan today, so hopefully it's going to be a good day.
That's Sammy Smith. He's been dealt with some difficult tracks as a young driver. Started at Road America, raced Pocono, and now he's here in the 18 at Michigan.
Thanks, Kim.
Fun. You saw Justin Allgaier and Noah Gragson there with Ryan Pemberton going over some little information. It's funny to watch guys like it. Both of them really fast, same organization, chit-chatting, but it's funny. What does one driver really say to the other? What are they really giving each other? Because Noah's got a fast hot rod. Justin's got a fast hot rod. Is he like, I'm good here and here. How are you? Well, I'm good here and there, and it's going to be hot today. Yeah, it's going to be hot. Yeah. Did you get some coffee? Did you get some Biggie coffee on the way in? Yeah.
This is like the first golf tee.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your handicap? I don't know. What's yours?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, then you got Sam Mary's like, why don't y'all say
Please
something?
Tell me something. Yeah.
I want to hear what y'all have to say.
Well, what percentage of what they're saying does he take back and go, okay, were they being honest about that?
So, no, that's the key is I believe, when the fan sees this, there's zero doubt in my mind they're honest.
Yeah.
It's just what I've learned with teammates, the questions you ask, that's the most important. They're going to answer whatever you ask. But they may not. Well, did you have this issue? Or, man, my car's doing it.
No.
They're going to answer every question you ask honestly. But, I might not just present exactly what I think your car should or shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Interesting.
You mentioned Ryan Pemberton right there, longtime director of competition at Junior Motorsports, Cup Series crew chief, racing family. He's been around there a long time. And, man, I don't know what year he went over there. It was 2000s, I think, I want to say. And he's just he's a good guiding light to young drivers, crew chiefs. He goes a million miles an hour, never slows down.
He does. Oh, my goodness. And I know Ryan. We go back to he was crew chief for one of my best buddies, Robert Presley.
Yep.
Old 77 Jasper car back in the day. So I used to hang out with those guys. And I've got to know him really, really well over the years.
That wasn't the time. You said you were with the Presleys.
Now, that was another
confrontation, maybe?
That was everywhere we went.
If you hung out with the Presleys,
that was every weekend of my life, yeah.
About ready to get underway with qualifying as the first car to roll is going to be Jordan Anderson. Here's a driver owner. This is going to be his first start of 2022.
You want to hear something about Jordan Anderson? It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. I used to race Thunder Roadsters in the NASA series. And I used to race weekly against Jordan Anderson.
Really?
Yep, little kid, came up, started racing. His mom and dad would bring him, and he would just wax us. Just wax us. And got to know him really, really well. And he was that guy that was showing up for years, with a buttoned-up shirt, coming to the racetrack, getting himself into the race, wanting to be a part of the sport, and here he is an owner.
Yeah, owner, driver, and doesn't drive all the time. Like I said, this will be his first start here in 2022. I had the honor of, we were putting together a swing set for a young child with cancer for his family in the backyard. Jordan Anderson, I was there, Larry McReynolds, and had an absolutely spectacular time with Jordan. We spent, it took us probably 4 or 5 hours to put that together, but it really showed me, what kind of a person Jordan was. That, here's a guy. And not a good qualifying start there for Jordan, as we're talking highly about him.
So big issues for the 32, because there's 41 cars here, 38 make the race.
Yeah.
You had mentioned his first attempt. Well, I'll confirm it with our crack stat crew, but this 32 car, we have not seen in many races. I'm not sure that car has what it takes to make the field.
Yeah, enough points. So with that slip up there by Jordan, that will probably end up
pure commentator jinx, Rick.
Yeah, that first
pure
start.
Commentator jinx.
That first start of 2022 being delayed.
Gets down into the corner.
Just that slow spin.
Starting to, it stepped out before he really even got to put any crank in the wheel. So,
well, unfortunate.
Just like that.
He turns down the corner. It's on ice right there. So are you Steve, with these race cars, and a lot of these are old Cup chassis. Are you trimming this car out, trying to make max speed just to get everything? I mean, you see that car, that's like a feather lifted the rear end of that race car up.
So the big challenge, you look at that, over 180 miles an hour when it turns backwards, probably a little over 100 when it hits the wall. So I think the body height is very important. Drag versus downforce. The big issue on these cars that we no longer have on Sunday is, when you go qualify right here, you add that all-important tape to that front grille. So you've taken that aero balance and you've made, you just ran 20 laps, probably never had tape on the grill. So you got to balance. You say, okay, I'm X. I'm going to add this much cross weight, drop the track bar this much, put this air pressure in it, and tape it up. And it just pins the nose aero-wise, and that's what it looks like to me. When they spin on corner, that's the highest speed part of the racetrack, so that's where aero's going to make the biggest difference. And that's where I think, like you said, they just misjudged for what they thought that front grille tape would do. Kim?
So we saw Jordan Anderson lose it in his qualifying effort, so let's talk to his driver, Myatt Snyder. You watched the replay. What makes qualifying at Michigan so challenging?
I think just because it's one of the fastest racetracks we go to. It's 2 miles long, not a ton of banking, but obviously Jordan had to make it in the race today, so I give him kudos for giving it his all and doing his best to put up the fastest lap and make sure he makes it in the race. It's just unfortunate, you as a driver, you always want to push yourself and push it to the max, and so obviously his Sefton Steel Camaro is probably not going to make the race, but hopefully we can still put in a good effort with our Bomberito Chevy Camaro. So I feel pretty good about our race car. Had a really good practice session, and Shane Whitbeck's been making really good adjustments. We were working really hard here at the shop, and so just proud of everybody on this team.
We'll see what Mike can do with his qualifying effort here at Michigan.
And that unfortunate situation for the 32 is also a little bit of an unfortunate break for the 77 of Bassett. A couple cars on the racetrack at the same time. He was already on the racetrack, so he's going to cool down and make another run. Although I will say, after seeing the the third, fourth, fifth lap being better on tires, maybe I'd be a little happy those things have a little scuff on them. Maybe make it a little bit more secure.
Knock a little shine off.
You know, we just heard Myatt mention that Jordan trying to get everything. In practice, he was 30th fastest.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that he showed the speed that he definitely could have made the 38-card field.
Wow.
As we have Akinori Agata on the racetrack, the 48-year-old out of Japan.
You know, Rick, but the beauty with sports, it doesn't matter what you had in practice. You got to bring it when it matters. And unfortunately for Jordan Anderson, he was unable to do that. And you know, I hate it. You mentioned a great young man, but that's what makes sports great. Nothing's guaranteed. You got to show up and do it.
Agata finished 25th at New Hampshire, his only other starts this season, and posts a 40.751. Faster than what he ran in practice by about a half a second. So he's picked up in qualifying. We'll see if that's going to be good enough.
Brennan Poole takes to the track. That did not look like a comfortable wiggle. He's able to continue to trend in the green. Brennan, one of those drivers all the way back to Ganassi days. They lost that sponsor with some financial issues and kind of got rotated out. Keeps trying to find his way back in the sport. You see car already running really hot.
Yeah. Steve coming out the base, the windshield there.
We did get a report from the 78 who we saw all that smoke with earlier. It wasn't a loose oil line. It was a rod through the pan. Catastrophic failure on the engine.
That's a done. Yep.
39.66 for Brennan Poole. So temporarily on the top of the chart. Matt was slotted to go. Matt Mills was slotted to go next out on the racetrack. Now Kyle Sieg will be out there. And we'll head back down to pit road. Kim.
And the last time we saw John Hunter Nemechek in the Sam Hunt racing machine was Road America. So quite a few weeks and very different racetracks. We're here at Michigan this weekend. So when you have time out of the seat, what do you do to prepare, especially when the tracks are so different?
Some great sim time, some tools that we have from Toyota TRD, and just studying a lot of film, a lot of in-car footage, and looking over notes from years past from my notebook, a little bit from Sam last year, and then some other things. So leaning on some guys this weekend, but proud of everyone here at Sam Hunt Racing. We have a decent Stillhouse Toyota Supra, so hopefully we can go have a really good run today, go run inside the top 10 all day, and just be there at the end and try and have a shot.
John Hunter Nemechek racing for Sam Hunt this weekend in that 26 car.
Steve, 9/10 of a second is what Kyle Sieg picked up from his practice to what he just put out there. Almost a second.
Oh, yeah.
Improvement.
Well, you know, practice was a little broken up. There was traffic. You know, he's got those fresh Goodyear tires that rotate. Got to make the field, Rick, at some point. I mean, that's, you know, why does Jordan Anderson spin out? Because if you go out there and you run 80%, you're going to go home with your ego bruised. I'd rather have a quarter panel dented than my ego bruised. At least I gave it everything I had.
Yaley second quickest with a 38.74. Patrick Emmerling next out on the track and on the clock in the 35. Patrick never has raced here at Michigan, the Xfinity Series.
His top speed here into 100, and we're going to see 200.
Yes, we will.
For sure.
196 there.
Front runners, I think we're going to see 200 out of.
So how much will the heat play in? We heard Kim talking about that earlier at the beginning of our broadcast. Day goes on, you start, you know, obviously sun's getting a little closer to the racetrack. How much does it affect these race cars and knock the speed out of them as they go throughout even qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to hurt qualifying for sure. Going later is going to hurt. In the race, you know, I think it's going to hurt overall grip. I would say that a warmer racetrack tends to lose front grip first. These cars are front grip limited, so if I was always tight in practice, I would make an even bigger step for the race because I think the track's going to tighten up.
Just a little pickup, 0.3 of a second for Emmerling. Next out onto the track, you mentioned it, Steve, Dylan Bassett. He was on the track when Jordan Anderson spun, so he was able to bring it back to pit road, cool it off a little bit. Now he's back in line, back on the track. And he's 197 entering the turn. And in the green compared to Kyle.
And really loose. Oh, that was a good save. Nice big slide.
Dylan Bassett 39.59 in practice.
Oh, this is going to be an over second pickup right here, Rick.
Boy, look at that thing coming in that corner. You can see how loose it is.
Yeah.
Starting to yaw a little bit on him, but did a good job. Drove it in there.
Straight.
Get all you can straight, and Dylan Bassett did just that. Got all he could. 38.45 for Dylan Bassett. As you mentioned, over a second pickup from what he did in practice. There's Josh Williams on the track. Kim.
And Jeremy Clements waiting to do his qualifying run. What did you guys have in practice, and what do you feel like you have here for your qualifying run?
Yeah, we kind of struggled in the wings, etc. Chevy. It was on the splitter really hard. I could only make a lap, have to come in, and then we had some guys having problems out there. But, hey, ready to hammer down, see if she's as fast as Xfinity Internet. It's a fast lap here. And I'm telling you what, it's only like 9:30 in the morning. This will wake you up. So I'm ready. I'm excited. Hope we put on a good show for the fans. And just thanks again to Wings, etc. for being on our Chevy.
Jeremy Clements doesn't even need an energy drink this morning with the speeds we see at Michigan.
Kim, he's on driver time, too. He thinks it's 9:30. It's actually 10 o'clock. That's driver time.
But he's right.
Once you make practice, the rest is somebody else going to tell you. I will tell you, at 9:07 or whatever, when they rolled off into turn one, that's a wake-up call.
Yes, sir. That'll get your attention.
Eye-opening. Ryan Ellis.
We used to have those Cup drivers. They come out of the bus lot, still have the wrinkles from the pillow, jumping these things and go around 205 like it was nothing. I could just never understand that.
Me neither.
There's no warm-up.
About 0.6 of a second off of what we've seen out of Bassett so far is Ryan Ellis.
So I guess for the Xfinity Series, the smart thing to do if you're a team is with all the past, like I say, these are last year's Cup cars and whatnot. So you go out and hire a crew chief that has a lot of experience, a veteran crew chief that has a lot of experience with these race cars. Wouldn't that be the template for building a team?
Yeah, when I walk through the Xfinity Series garage, I see a lot of young drivers and a lot of familiar faces that were over in the Cup Series 10 years ago, and they found, much like what we talk about with Justin Allgaier, much like A.J. Allmendinger, I joked about the dog years for a crew chief, but if you travel on Sundays, you're flying home Sunday night, you're going to work on Monday. Like, you're not taking Mondays off. If you're a Sunday crew chief, you're not taking Mondays off, you're not taking Thursdays off, you're 7 days a week. And Jason Burdett and I are good friends, and he talks about it a lot because, he doesn't really dream much about the Cup Series garage anymore. He loves racing. He gets to do it at a very high level, and he has Sundays with his family. So there are a lot of those crew chiefs, to your point, that have experience with this car. They're very comfortable with it, the style. They're on bump stops. It's kind of an old Cup Series setup. Aero platform is kind of like the old car. And they get their Sundays off. It's a great opportunity. And they get to work with usually younger drivers, different drivers. The challenge is very different.
Yeah, and so then the other part of that would be, all right, so these guys are getting better and better, the drivers, cutting their teeth in this race car. Now, if you have an opportunity to take that step up, it's going to be even more difficult.
It is.
Because these cars are diametrically opposed as opposed to being similar as they were in the past. So it's going to be even harder to go from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series, especially another year or two from now.
Daniel Hemrick, we mentioned, had to sit out the first about 10 minutes of practice because they were working on the car. Kim, you caught up with him. Is he itching to get back in the car for this qualifying run?
Let's find out. They were just talking about you guys having a little track bar issue, delayed your practice. Was everything okay with the car once you were able to shake it down? And how does a shorter practice affect your day?
Yeah, I felt like, whatever they had going on there, the track bar stuff, they got it worked out. Everything felt fine in our AG1 Camaro as soon as we took off. Actually, probably the best I felt like we've unloaded all year. So proud of these guys, proud of the effort. Everyone at Colleague Racing, we've really been working hard trying to find that balance of, as we're trying to get ran over here. Find that balance of each driver's different characteristics. And this part of the year, I think we're now beginning to kind of be more aggressive on our path. So really thankful to Matt Colleague and Chris Rice. And 9 a.m. practice, guys laying on your race car, welding on it before the track goes green. Good thing I had my AG1. I'm ready to rock.
That's why you got your Celsius. So Jeremy Clements didn't need it. He liked the speed to wake him up. Well, Daniel Hemrick has his Celsius to give him the wide eyes for this qualifying lap.
Thanks, Kim. Steve, you mentioned it. Weatherman, you were mentioning he was just outside the top 10 in practice, but what a lap he's put up here, 38.26.
Yeah, he's going to be one that I think people are going to understand what the track has in it for pace. Fastest in practice was a 38.60 in race trim at a Noah Gregson. Now we see a 38.2. I mean, you're going to see some, I believe, some 37s here coming up with some of these other guys.
Don't you love, though, listening to the professional athlete mind, listening to Daniel Henry? He answered the question we asked earlier. You know, he's talking about he said, yeah, the track bar, sway bar, whatever. It's great. The race car's fast. I am ready to go. So the confidence and the ability to trick yourself into being confident, the mental aspect of that is fascinating. So I thought that was pretty funny.
I do believe, you know, there's something to be said for the driver that can just remove himself from this car. I don't know what was wrong with the car. It's not my problem.
Bar, rear tire fell off. I don't know.
Not my deal. I let somebody else worry about that.
C.J. McLaughlin finishing up his lap just outside the top 10.
Or Jeb Burton needs a good break.
Yes, he does.
Oh, I'll tell you, Jeb.
And not end up on the top, on the roof of his car.
I mean, Pocono upside down, Indy, new partner on board, carried some in-car cameras for us. So looking forward to talking about him all day long, and doesn't even get off pit road with a mechanical failure. Just feels so poor for this kid. Just wants something to go his way.
Because you know how hard he's worked to put himself in this position. I mean, I've seen Jeb over the years. You know, I bumped into one day in Charlotte. He was dressed up. He was going to a meeting, trying to find someone to help support him to go racing, and just wants it so bad. And he's shown talent and ability, and just has had a tough time. So always pulling for him, and then when you have bad luck on a racetrack, it just compounds it. But this young man can do it. Got a lot of ability, a lot of talent.
And a lot of heart.
A lot of heart.
When he won at Talladega, that was huge for him. The emotion was it just flowed out of him when that happened, because these guys invest their lives in this sport, and the only thing they want to do is win races. And when he was finally able to, after all the work that he put into it, get that win, it was huge. Just like we see Josh Bilicki. Same type of thing with every driver out here. They're pouring so much effort into being successful on the racetrack that when it does finally come, it's a huge accomplishment.
It is, and they just explode with emotion because it's a tough task. I mean, yeah, this is the developmental series. This is the series that you have to go through if you want to get to the top level. But there's some cats in this series that can flat do it, and it's a dog fight. And so, yeah, it's hard. It's tough. You learn a lot about yourself, and you learn to compete no matter what. And when you have a chance to win or have a great day and you're not supposed to punch above your weight, man, it hits you right in the heart.
Sammy Smith just starting to invest all the time and effort in the Xfinity Series.
That car looks light in the back, a little like almost scared to turn the wheel in the middle of the corner. Shows how good of a lap Kyle Weatherman got in that 34.
Yeah, the 18 of Sammy Smith was 8th fastest in practice earlier at 38.88.
Really came together in 3 and 4. Beautiful 3 and 4. You
Huge
can see the
pickup here.
Other than that, look good.
There it is, Steve, the first sub 38.
Whew. You could just see in 1 and 2, he was moving up the racetrack. It didn't look like by choice. Like he couldn't just tug that wheel to keep it low. Kind of walks up, front, back, front, back, front, back. Versus 3 and 4, it looked like a real consistent corner. Was able to turn the wheel, exit where he wanted to.
Brandon Brown on the track now. Let's go to another Brandon standing by with him.
Yeah, Brandon Jones, who's found a lot of success here at Michigan, multiple ARCA wins. You finished runner-up in the Xfinity Series last year. So what about this track just clicks with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's one of those that I finally hit on something a long time ago. And like you mentioned, all the ARCA success here that we've had in the past, multiple wins there. And even last year, felt like we were so close to being able to beat AJ and just quite didn't have enough turn. And so we truthfully based this setup just like we had last year and tried to fix our problems that we fought towards the end of that race, and paid off pretty well here. I think that there's some guys that are obviously still pretty strong, but we definitely have a JGR Supra to be able to run up front today. So big thanks to Criterion Appliances, Menards, everyone that helps us out so much, and look forward to going to qualify. I think that we should have a shot at the pole here.
All right, guys, it sounds like we need to be watching Brandon Jones in that Toyota here today.
And he just mentioned shot at the pole. Steve, what's it going to take? We see a 37.98 out there. What do you think it's going to take to win the pole today?
I think like a 65, 37.65.
Is that, could we put a cup of coffee on that?
I'm putting a coffee on it. That's
sure. All right, there's 2 coffees coming my way.
So
67.
I don't think it's going to go sub
you
7.
said 65.
Wait a minute. I don't think it's going to go sub 37.7.
I agree with that.
You think it will?
I agree with it. 37.7.
Yep. I'll take
Be
my
the
coffees.
Yep.
You'll take it.
I'm a latte guy.
Myatt Snyder, 0.7 of a second off there, but 5th quickest of the drivers that have been out on the racetrack.
If 2 go sub 37.70, you're buying this evening as well, Rick.
Oh, I thought you would want that
that's
muffin.
Sweet.
You saw
That's
a muffin there
parlay.
too.
That's a parlay I'm going to hit when that happens. Kaz Gralla in this 48 car. Tyler Reddick announced he was leaving RCR, and I noticed the driver lineup for the 48 got a little jumbled up.
Got a little jumbled up. Had Ricky Stenhouse in it last week.
Yeah, Ricky, he looked like he was having a good time driving this thing.
Having fun.
We see that a lot. I think all the road courses you're going to see Cup drivers in it. All the ovals, maybe a little bit more variety of names. Brandon Brown, we forgot to mention, he unfortunately was out of the old car he owns last week. I could just tell, talking to him, it just crushed him to not be in his car, but the business has to come first.
So Kaz Gralla, the 23-year-old out of Boston, perfect crew chief for him, Patrick Donahue. They
of course.
speak the same language.
Boston.
Yeah. Boston, up there in New England. Kim.
So we're going to do a little knockout-style interview here where we hit as many targets on the grid as possible, starting with Sam Mayer. How was the car in practice, and what do you have for qualifying?
Yeah, we were really solid in practice. So we had a really good BUS DX Chevrolet Camaro from Junior Motorsports. Our one car is really fast. Obviously, a lot of stability here is very important, and that's exactly what we have. So I think we'll be good on the long run. This place is definitely tons of fun, so I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, qualifying is definitely a whole nother animal, so we got to tackle that one next. But I'm excited for it. It'll be fun.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Sam Mayer going to climb aboard his machine. I just watched Austin Hill walk to what I think is the little boys' room. We'll see if we can grab his crew chief, Andy Street, here. Andy, we're going to get a... Oh, he's telling me hold on. Hold on, he's saying. They had issues in practice, so maybe they're looking at what exactly they need to do with the race car. So why don't we talk to Riley Herbst? Riley, you've had some really great finishes this year, a career year. What about Michigan? How are you feeling coming into this weekend? You've won here in ARCA, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Quite frankly, this is one of my favorite racetracks, but I do love coming up here and see the fans and everybody up here in Brooklyn, Michigan. But yeah, I don't know. Just trying to get through Michigan. Hopefully we have some good speed on a Monster Energy Ford Mustang and get to the summer break next week and then go playoff racing.
Summer break, he mentions they won't be battling at Richmond. For one Monster Energy driver to another, Ty Gibbs. We'll get a word with Ty, who's playing double duty this weekend. You've been doing phenomenal on the Cup side. This weekend, though, in Michigan, what are you looking forward to here the most for the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be hopefully an exciting race. I feel pretty good. I feel like we've got a fast Monster Energy Toyota GR Supra, and hopefully we can go have a good qualifying run out there, and hopefully the Cup stuff's good.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So we'll let Ty Gibbs go on his way. I was looking for Justin Allgaier, couldn't find him. So we'll go with, no, he's saying no paparazzi. This guy, last week's winner at Indy Road Course, last year's winner at Michigan. Can you repeat here?
From this morning's practice, possibly. The Action Industry Chevy was quite good. You know, this track's such a fine line of you got to be free enough to start the run because it tightens up, but good thing is we at least have some speed in it, and we'll see what happens.
We had some really good in-car shots from you in the Indy Cup race.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember it because you were just exhausted. The heat, I know, was unbearable. What did you do this week to recover and make sure you're ready for the heat here in Michigan?
I just played a lot of golf out in the 100-degree weather in North Carolina. I really started focusing on my heat training, so told my wife, Tara, that I just needed more golf in the sun to work the body into that.
The good thing about more golf is you're getting more golf. Some people may not know, but when AJ wins, he gets a round of golf, compliments of Colleague Racing. Well, you won Indy Road Course last weekend, so where are you going to play for your win?
I think we need to, we're going to go to Kiowa. We're going to go to the Ocean Course. I played it once, but that was in a live tournament, so there was a lot of club throwing during that and not enjoying it. So we'll go have some drinks out there and have a good time.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Kim, you can tell him we're going to see him at Kiowa.
Yeah, we'll help him.
We'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll help him out
He
with
didn't
that
know
foursome.
that was an official invite to the entire booth.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Big
Appreciate
kid will be
that.
there. Yep.
The booth will be there as we see Ryan Sieg out on track now. You saw Kyle Sieg, brother, out there earlier.
Yeah, and Curry had that smoke. It looked like a left rear tire road, in my opinion, and then the left rear went flat. So
Ryan 5th quickest with that lap at 38.62. Well, Steve, 37.98, still the fastest lap.
I'm feeling really good, Rick.
You feel confident?
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Clements now on the clock. 2 of the last 5 races, he's finished top 10 here in 2022.
See those hands working in the windshield, didn't you, Brad?
He's sawing on it a little bit. He's
Yes.
sawing, trying to find grip.
Another driver owner here with Jeremy Clements, a family-owned race team.
No surprise. If it's a little free in 1 and 2, normally the car tightens up as it runs. Air pressures build up. Probably was a little more conservative in 3 and 4.
Clements 9th quickest now of the 23 with time.
Next car out, we had a new driver in this Our Motorsports entry this week. Brett Moffitt no longer behind the wheel of the 02.
We're hated to see that. Brett Moffitt's
Oh,
so
wait.
talented.
I take this back. Alfredo's at the top of the line. I had the 02 as the next car out on the list, so I don't know if he's had an issue.
Here, mechanical issues.
Okay.
So we're seeing Anthony Alfredo make his way out onto the track. Anthony this year started off smoking hot as far as the season went. At Daytona, he was 7th, California 5th, and then after that, he struggled to get back up into the top 10. Had one top 10 finish at Talladega.
Yeah, we started the year with Anthony. Boy, he was on tips of everybody's tongue in these Xfinity races. Really came out of the gate. And just had some bad luck over the past several weeks outside of Talladega, and just has not been able to gather it back up. This is a good opportunity today, though. He always has a fast race car, and he's a talented young man, so put himself in the right position, get a good qualifying spot, and go out and change his luck today.
No experience here as far as the Xfinity Series at Michigan. This will be his first Michigan start. About 0.3 of a second off right now what we saw out of Sammy Smith. And going the wrong direction. 0.6 of a second now. He's falling off. This will still have him in the top 10. 9th quickest for Alfredo at 38.72.
Looks like the familiar colors of Sheldon Creed, possibly.
Sheldon out on the track now. Currently 50 points out of the playoffs. But definitely a racetrack where Sheldon Creed could find victory lane and looking for that win.
Well, and he's gained 50 points in really the last 5 races. So you showed the remaining schedule for the Xfinity Series. They have a few more races than Cup left. I mean, there's a couple different ways for him to find his way in. He's got to try to catch 50 points on Sieg.
Surprisingly, Sheldon Creed, it's been a difficult year as far as luck. He hasn't had good luck. He's had bad luck. About every turn of the racetrack and turn of the schedule, Sheldon has had struggles, and now 4th quickest here. That's looking pretty good for Sheldon.
All right, here you go, Rick. This is going to be a little test at how fast the track has in it.
Daniel's going to be the test?
Well, yeah, I think the sun's hurting it a little bit, but as long as he doesn't get a little too high right here, that looks like 2/10 in 1 and 2.
As you take a sip of coffee.
Cream and sugar, Rick. Cream and sugar. And when the 16 runs, I'll tell you what we're going to have with dinner tonight.
Wanting to know And it's going the wrong way, Steve.
I didn't like the bottom.
Wrong way.
Drove in a little too low down here. Got a little tight.
Oh.
But it's out there, guys. It's out there.
I'm more of a Carmel fan myself. So,
if we listen to the radio right now, great 1 and 2, a little too low in 3 and 4, got a little tight.
Still fastest lap at 37.97. Kim.
And catching up with Justin Allgaier, one of the hottest drivers in the series with 3 wins in a lap, 10 races. So for you guys, what needs to happen here this afternoon to continue that streak?
Well, I think just what we've been doing, right? Consistency. I feel like our team has done a fantastic job. Everybody at Junior Motorsports. I feel like we have 4 really, really fast Camaros this week, and obviously Hendrick engine power, when you come to a place like here in Michigan, means so much. So look forward to today. I think, based on practice, I was just telling you off camera, we didn't draft, so we ran our lap with no help, and still we're up towards the top 5. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I just watched Daniel's lap. That was obviously a really good lap. It's getting hotter the longer we stand here and the longer we wait, but that's the benefit of having a good week last week, right? So, we'll see what happens, but really proud of our Brent Fresh and Ultra team, and look forward to today's race. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And Justin brings up a good point, guys. We didn't see any of that, a little bit of draft work that we typically see in the race on the straightaways here during practice.
Just to catch you up, Alex LeVay went out and was 20th quick in his number 36.
So we saw Hemrick have a great 1 and 2. So, the bar of 1 and 2 has been set. That's what you're comparing to. So, Brandon Jones basically matched what I would consider Sammy Smith's 1 and 2. We'll see if the 19 can do better in 3 and 4. That's where Hemrick gave up all of his time.
Going to go the wrong direction here as well for
a little bit of
Brandon Jones. So 3 and 4 a little trickier for some of these drivers. Brandon 0.3 of a second off, and that will put him 3rd so far in this qualifying session. The opportunities are running out, Steve.
Yeah, but I'll take the 8 or 9 that are left.
Okay.
Got a couple good ones.
Castle, Barry, Gregson, Mayer, Hill, Herbst, Gibbs, Allgaier, Allmendinger. I'll triple down and tell you that the pole sitter's still sitting on pit road.
Okay.
He hasn't gone on the racetrack yet.
Okay.
We ain't seen a single Junior Motorsports car.
That's where I'm looking. 7 and 9.
Landon Castle, another one of the colleague drivers out here, the 33-year-old from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I might have to tell Landon he's too happy in his picture. Need him to look a little tougher.
And he does have a pretty good smile going.
Yeah, I got to get him to get a little tougher.
0.4 of a second.
Just wonder if the heat really is.
Yeah,
Justin,
for sure.
Talk about it. It's coming up. The temperature's climbing pretty quickly, and looks like it's affecting the speed just a little bit.
Now taking the green. The 8. So we'll see what Josh Berry has. Junior Motorsports entry here.
Surprising practice for the 8. I didn't love where he was on the time chart. I thought he would be quicker. Maybe they were just dealing with something. Maybe they just didn't get a good lap. It's always hard to even cover a 20-minute practice and kind of see who's where.
Josh Berry racing online with Dale Earnhardt Jr. early, probably almost 15 years ago now. Caught the eye of Junior. They sent him to a test. Sure enough, showed great speed. Got in a late model race for him for a decade. And the late models did so well. Won the national championship in that area. And Junior said, we're going to give you a shot. And that was last year. He won a couple races and now full time for Junior Motorsports. Very talented. Probably, I would say he's probably 1, 2, or 3 as far as the free agents that could move on to Cup right now for any team. As we see Noah Gragson in the green here.
Now I'm going to show my hand that if he doesn't run at least a 9-0, you might have earned a cup of coffee, because this car is the one that I think has a lot of potential raw speed in it.
He's going to have to show something in 3 and 4 then.
Yeah, but Hemrick gave a lot back down here. I think there is a lot to be gained over Daniel Hemrick in 3 and 4, at least 15 100ths. There we go. At 3 and 4, he's going to run me something down in the 80s.
He's coming. He's coming.
Yes, sir. 82.
So Gragson 37.82.
It's pretty stout. You go back on that
good
temperature tough too. I mean, the track temp's up almost 13, 14 degrees since we practiced this morning. So that's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive to find
Here's
that.
young Sam Mayer hitting the track.
He didn't get a good 3 and 4. He's 5100ths off entering turn 1. Top speed, mid 190s. We saw almost 200 out of Noah. I don't know what happened in 3 and 4, but he was behind from the word go.
Yeah, his up to speed lap didn't give him a chance on this one, as he's a half a second off going down the backstretch now. Sam Mayer, second off of what Gregson had posted.
We got a variety pack left, Rick. We got 3 Chevys, a Ford, and a Toyota, a couple Monster Energy cars.
Here's Austin Hill. Again, I mentioned earlier, will be making his Cup Series debut tomorrow. So a busy weekend for Austin Hill. He's 0.2 of a second off of what we've seen out of Noah Gragson through 1 and 2.
And much like Sam Mayer, he was off as soon as he crossed the start-finish line. Tells me that Noah Gragson did a really nice job coming up to speed. Maybe even ran a little higher in 3 and 4. Got that engine kind of wound up.
Off turn 4, seeing the checkered flag for his lap. Austin Hill, 0.8 of a second off, so he'll be 12th quickest. And now just 4. 4 remaining for qualifying. Riley Herbst will be out there, the first Monster Energy car that we will see in the 98.
And I watched him through 3 and 4 around the bottom. Wasn't sure it's where he wanted to be, but he came to the green okay. Oh, up the track, though. A little higher than he wants. And you could see the speed instantly, right? As soon as that stopped following that paving seam, moved up, it lost a couple tenths in the corner and just continues to hurt all the way down the back straightaway.
Seventh last year on this racetrack. And the 23-year-old from Vegas is going to start this afternoon's race in potentially the 10th spot with still 3 to go. Gibbs, Allgaier, and Allmendinger still to take the clock.
I really thought I was kind of with Steve. I thought Noah would be the guy to beat, but as I'm looking at this, I think one of those 3 is going to be able to clip him just a little bit. We'll see.
Sliding into turn 1 here is Ty Gibbs. And loses a 1/10 of a second exiting out of turn 2.
I caught the fence there.
You mentioned it. He just got in there and he slid. This is a great camera angle. Watch as he turns down in the corner. You know, he's going to have to be light on that wheel. He's going to be back to the gas. That 3 and 4 look pretty good. One
get
little
back out again.
A couple times. Running out of real estate quick. That's the problem. At 185 miles an hour, you know, as a race car driver, you need to know you're not where you want to be a few hundred feet before you get there, right? If you're a couple feet too high and you think you're going to just stay in the gas and hope it turns up by the wall, you know, you're going to have to make the adjustment to the inputs right away.
Now the question is, as Allgaier on the clock, will it be an all Junior Motorsports front row? What have they got here with Allgaier?
Well, Noah definitely got to the green good because everybody's been in the red since. Allgaier's definitely light in the back. You could see the back moving around. Gets a great corner exit, though.
This one's going to be close.
See how good of a turns 3 and 4 he can have. Noah had a great 3 and 4. We saw him gain a ton on Hemrick. Can Allgaier beat his teammate down here? Slow in, looking to try to gain it back on exit, and I just don't think he will. The speed given up is lost.
Wow.
1/10 of a second, but this one, an impressive lap. Does it get him second? It does. So Allgaier slots just in front of Hemrick by a little over 1/100th of a second, at 5/1000ths of a second.
And this is the big lap for A.J. Allmendinger coming up. Colin could say they need more speed. It looked better in practice. I don't think he needs to pole, but he needs to pop up there in the front row with those 2 Junior Motorsports cars. You talked about how emotional he is. This would be a big boost of confidence for A.J. Allmendinger if he can get up there.
In the green, Steve.
Oh, yeah. 3/10. Tell you what, Rick, good 3 and 4 down here.
Ooh, he's coming.
He needs to gain, for you, for your purposes, he needs to gain over 1/10 of a second on what Gregson has run, and he's going the wrong direction. Can he hang on to it?
Sliding just a little bit. He gets it back.
It's going to be really close.
This could be a pole run. Right at the line. And Allmendinger slots in second. Gregson is the winner of the pole here at Michigan.
We drinking coffee.
Yep, 2 coffees on me, but Noah, that was a great lap. Great lap from Noah.
Wow.
Second career pole for the driver of the 9. Kim.
And he's giving hugs to the whole crew. You watched AJ make that lap. What were you thinking there?
I was scared. We have a really good 50th anniversary Bass Pro Shop, Black Rifle Coffee, True Timber, Camaro. This Junior Motorsports number 9 team, they've worked really hard, and we've had this racetrack scheduled circled on the calendar all year. Just really excited to, get out there. Our car's really fast, but definitely wanted to win the pole. We've had some solid runs here in the past couple times. We've been here with a third last year and a second back in 2019. So really enjoyed this racetrack. Before practice, I got out here like 30 minutes before practice. I was just sitting here just all amped up, fired up. But good lap by him. Really proud of the effort by our Junior Motorsports team. And it's a good starting spot, but we have a lot of work to do to stay up there. Just need to execute the race out, stay focused all day, and I think running the Cup car for Colleague Racing in the 16, that'll help me practicing qualifying that later today before our Xfinity race.
You mentioned execute. What specifically do you need to execute in terms of on the track and as a team to make sure this P1 starting position is a P1 ending position?
Yeah, just not trying too hard. I feel like when you try too hard, and you can really take yourself out of the game, and you almost focus on the wrong things. So I feel really comfortable, confident with this team. Just we're here to win races. We really want to win at this place in particular, and we got great racetracks coming up, but make up some points. It's not going to be easy though. There's a lot of great race car drivers. AJ, our teammates, Justin, Josh, Sam, all those guys, they're really good, and we have a good car. Just need to stay focused throughout the race and be there at the end.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Noah Gregson will lead the field to green this afternoon in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
I'm going to see if my old buddy Noah could send some Black Rifle coffee up for you guys.
I was going to say.
Out of my bed.
Yeah, the sponsor on that car helped you out maybe. Want to take a look at the starting grid. It won't be an all Junior Motorsports front row because A.J. Allmendinger on that lap moved just in front of Allgaier. So it's Gregson and Allmendinger that will be bringing the field to the green.
Yeah, tip of the hat to Colleague Racing. They needed to improve. You got Allmendinger front row, Hembrick second row. How about Kyle Weatherman? Row 4, that's a great lap for that team. Impressive. He's done a nice job every time in that car.
He really has. Done an outstanding job.
There's Ty Gibbs, Brandon Brown. They'll be making up row 5. Sheldon Creed with a good run there. Starting in the 11th position.
Dylan Bassett up inside
Dylan in the
top
lap.
20.
Yeah.
A little further back in the field, Jeb Burton looking for some good luck here this weekend.
Mike Snyder as well, row 9.
As you go through the starting grid, you realize just the depth of this field. You know, there's more than 10 cars that you're going to have to really battle. If you make a mistake, you're going to get outside the top 20 in a hurry.
John Hunter Nemechek back there in row 16. Sam Mayer, row 13. A couple of guys we thought would be a little further up front.
Nemechek running the full truck series this year. David Starr and Matt Mills making up that final row. That means Ogata, Poole, and Jordan Anderson are the 3 cars that did not make the field. A busy day continuing from Michigan International Speedway. Cup Series practice and qualifying at 12:30. Countdown to green at 3 on USA at 3:30. It's Xfinity Series racing, and we will make sure to join you for that.